see how the ancestors work, because all throughout the states, it was the boat, the boat, the boat. It was telephone calls about the boat. There was emails about the boat. There was talking about, do we have the boat? Is the boat coming? Where's the boat? The boat, the boat, the boat. Where's the boat? The boat, the boat, the boat. Well, we were hoping that when we got to Brazil, that we would hitchhike a ride, we would find the boat up that way, but the purpose was going up that way to really cover the South American continent. And so when we got there, we ran into Captain Bill Pickney. Captain Bill Pickney, we met him in Puerto Rico. And there was 40 of us in Puerto Rico, and he had this boat, and he was on his own Middle Passage journey. The boat was called the Stortledge. And he was on his own, and Middle Passage was written right across there. Wow. And so 40 of us had a meeting about who's going to get on that boat. It only held 7 people. And 40, who's going to hold him? And they were like, and raise your hand if you want to be on the boat. My hand was in my pocket. Smitty, didn't you hear who? Raise your hand. No, I'm going to South America. Because he was going directly to Africa. That was he was going straight to Africa. So no, that wasn't my boat. So when we left there, I assumed that Captain Bill Pickney was going to Africa, and they went to Africa, and we got to Brazil. We walked through Brazil. We made national news in Brazil, walking with the flag. It had the Pan-African flag, and it was, the few of us that were there, and then I was just about to leave to go to Recife. We were in Bahia, Brazil, and I was about to leave our faction and go to Recife to see if there was a boat, because Recife and the door of no return, Descartes, they were like this. Yeah, so they were shooting them across just like that. Wind was right, everything was on their side. It was a straight shot, and then bringing them down to South America, and toward the North American. I mean, so I thought, well, let me look up in Recife and mill around up there, and our visa was running down. We was at the 11th hour, and then before I left, the day before I left, Regina come running in there and said, guess who I saw? Captain Bill Pickney. I said, well, did you ask him? No, I didn't ask him. Well, I'm going to go ask him. Huh?
Salvador, Bahia.
Salvador, Bahia.
I had come from the north, from Recife, all the way from Venezuela, and we got together in Salvador, and he took the 2 of you and left us the 2 white guys there, even though he had the room.
Okay, I'm going to jump into that story real quick, because Brother Arthur there is the one who convinced Captain Pinkney to take the 2 African Americans.
Wow.
And that they would stay behind. So don't leave that part of the story.
Oh, I don't know about that exactly,
I know
but
about that. You forgot. It's been 25 years ago.
Well, I went down, and he said, oh, Smitty, you made it. I didn't know you was going to. And he took me out to eat, and I told him that we were, our pilgrimage was over if we don't catch a boat. I mean, we made it this far, but if we don't go back by boat, our journey is over. And he said, let me talk about it with my crew. And then I went to meet him again the next day, and he said, I can only take 2 of you. And that would be you and Regina. And he said, I can't deal with the personalities. He had taken a trip with some other people, and I don't know if you know, being out there on that sea, with the wave squalls hitting the boat and the sun coming down, and the personalities you got to deal with. Some people too sick to work, some people can't hold their own. I mean, he just was done with, and he said, I got to talk about it with my crew, that we want to take these 2. Well, we were not to be denied. The interfaith pilgrimage of the Middle Passage meets the interfaith pilgrimage of the Middle Passage. Come on. Who arranged that? Could he say no?
That's right.
Who arranged that? That was a divine appointment. That was divine intervention, right? So, no, he could not say no. And so there we were off. We were off on that journey, and we met up with y'all in
Ouida.
no. Benin?
Benin.
Okay, yes. And it took us a few days going through various different borders to catch up with them. And Elaine Kinson. So let us not get out of this life without sharing how much we appreciate you and what you meant to this journey. You were an axis that our planet was spinning on. That was you and this. Yes, I'll never forget that. That's something. And so we did that, got to South Africa. Thabo Mbeki was being handed the torch, by Nelson Mandela. We get back. I don't know what, what was that? What do you call that? Post-traumatic
Stress disorder.
stress disorder. I was, my disorder came from, I'm always knowing what comes next. I'm always knowing what I'm going to do next. And coming back from that, I didn't know what I was going to do next. I didn't know. My pilgrimage was so successful, it was clear to me that I was born to do that, to be there for that. Choices I've made, places I've gone, things I accomplished on that journey. So
Remember,
What
you and Aaron got malaria in South Africa.
yeah, I got malaria, almost died, and I was ready to catch. Look, if you're gonna take me now, I did everything I came to do. I'm cool. I'm good. If you calling me now after crossing that 35 days on that ocean, Pacific and Atlantic, and holding ceremony at the center of the equator, as we did, I think, well, if you calling me now, I'm ready to go. But no, it wasn't my time. I had more to. I got back, and I had that disorder because I didn't know and what was my next assignment. So I had to sit still for a year. For a year, and it did not come. The next assignment did not come. And so I said, well, let me go out and walk with Napanza and Hoji again. I went on a few pilgrimages with them, the Interfaith pilgrimage of the Massachusetts prison walk, the Interfaith pilgrimage of the California prison walk, and by the time I came back from that, 911 had occurred, and when rocks were thrown at my window, telling me turn on my TV, look at the two towers, and I saw, and that was my cue, that was my awakening. That was an aha moment for me. That wasn't a frightening moment for me. I knew what I was supposed to be doing then. I was supposed to continue being a full-time sojourner, truth of the planet, walking the earth full-time. And I took to doing that, and I still live like that to this day. Don't walk as much anymore. Bone density loss, all that kind of stuff. I still get around. The reason why I'm called the medicine walker is because the medicine that I walk with is not coming out of the soil or the earth. It's coming from above, as below, as it is above, so it is below. I walk with that medicine. I don't need to know where my next meal is coming from. I don't need to know where my next dollar is coming from. I don't need to know where I'm going to lay my head next. It's been proven to me too many times that I have been gotten. And the message is still one people, one earth. One people, one earth. What did the ancestors say? Talk that talk. What's the best way?
Walk that walk.
One people,
One earth.
one people,
One earth.
This is it. One. The law of one. The law of one. So that means that if all life is sacred above, For me, all life is sacred below. And so I have to carry that transmission, and just carrying that transmission that the earth is my home and humanity is my family. That alone is my currency. That trust is my passport. So it's one people.
One earth.
One people.
One earth.
One people.
One earth.
Who are we waiting for?
Who are we waiting for?
We're waiting for ourselves.
That's right. Wake up. It's the awakening.
Yes. This precious, precious jewel right here has some words to share. Thank you.
Well, I was sitting here watching you as you danced and played the drums, and I was thinking, and sometimes I'll just be thinking, and all of a sudden I'm not thinking, but then I'm still thinking, and then just like words come. Normally I like to type them or write, but since I'm here, I thought, well, I guess I don't have to write them because I can just say them.
I say. Let's hear it.
Who are we that call ourselves people? We kill our kin and say we're all equal. We fight all these wars and end with a sequel. How can we call ourselves people and bear so much evil? On one half, my family and ancestors were the ones with the boats, and on the other, it was my family who was taken onto them. I wonder inside myself, who am I? What side should I take? And then I realized, just give it a break. I don't need to say I'm this or say I'm that. I can just be who I am, and I can try and let other people be who they are. We as people like to say what's right and what's wrong, and sometimes it's better to just not. And sometimes it's better to just let people go on their own path, because sometimes we can't really do anything about it. But then when we can find the times to make a change, we should. And most people don't. Most people just sit back and